Hello, I'm Krissy of Krissy's Over the Mountain Crochet, and we are working on the first sample of the Heirloom Shells baby blanket. I will also show you how to embellish this blanket with this elasticized lace. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. I got 3 spools, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough until I am in the embellishing process, and I'll let you know about that. I'm using Caron Cotton Angel Cakes, and I'm going to chain 86. So after I've chained 86, I'll meet you at the end and we'll start row 1. We'll turn and start row 1. So the first row is single crochet in the second chain from the hook. That's the first chain. This is the second chain, so we'll single crochet in that second chain. And then single crochet in each chain across. Let me get that done for you. Okay, we're just about to the end. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stitches left. Let me get those for you. Of course, when I tell you I'm going to do them for you, I get all my yarn tangles and I miss my stitch, but here we go. Now at the end of the row, we will chain 1 and turn, we will chain 2 and turn. And remember, all beginning chains and turning chains do not count as a stitch. There we go. All right, so we will chain 2 and turn, and we will place a double crochet in this very first stitch. Okay, let's double crochet in that stitch, chain 1, and then skip a stitch, skip that stitch, and then double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next. There is a chart in the written pattern, and you can find the written pattern at ChrissysOverTheMountainCrochet.com. You can find links to the pattern in my Facebook group, Chrissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts. Do a search on Facebook for Chrissy's Over the Mountain Crochet and Crafts. There are 2 opportunities for you to find the links for the written pattern that is online and free during the crochet along. After the crochet along, the pattern will become a premium pattern. I offer a lot of charts, row by row charts. I'm also offering a printable pattern at the end that does not have all of the wording and the extra charts and things. That way, if you just want to print off the pattern, you can. And of course, there are no ads on the purchased PDF. So, all right, let me get to the end of this row and I'll join you in just a second. I am at the end. I have just chained 1. I'm going to skip a stitch, double crochet, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet in this last stitch. All right, we're ready to chain 1 and turn, but first let me say there are 43 double crochets in this row. This makes a beautiful beading row. This is the base for the first sample. Let me pull out a little bit of yarn here. So where you will now chain 1 and turn and single crochet in every stitch across. So a single crochet in the double crochet, and I just put my hook under the chain 1 space, single crochet. You can put the single crochet right into that chain if you choose, but it doesn't need to happen that way. And then when you're finished with row 3, you will have 85 single crochet stitches, and we're ready after we finish this to move on to the shell portion. I'm excited about that. Now the shell portion is just a 2-row repeat. We need to get the base of the first shell row. We need to make sure that it fits within these 85 single crochet stitches. So let me get to the end here and I'll show you what's next. Okay, we're getting close to the end, and again it's a single crochet under the edge, under the chain, or in the chain, whatever you choose, and a single crochet in each double crochet stitch across. Now when I get to the end, I have this chain 2 and I have this double crochet. I want to show you a trick. If you insert your hook in this chain 2 space, draw up the loop a little bit taller, and then execute your single crochet, it makes a smoother edge finish. I use this in a lot of my designs. Okay, so row 1, row 2, row 3, we're ready to chain 2 and turn. We will double crochet in that very first stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and double crochet in the next stitch. All right, now as you can see, I have a bit of a mesh right there, right above there. Each side, each end of the row, the beginning of the row and the end of the row will mirror each other. So when I get to the end of this row, after I've made the shell sequence, I will have a match of another mesh type of stitching. Now that we've done that, we need to move on to the shell portion. This is a 2-row repeat of shells, but we need to get this base shell started. All right, the first execution is chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and a shell 1. Now the shell 1 is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. This is the beginning. This little section, excuse me, I also have to chain 1 right here. And skip 2 stitches. All right, so this section, there are no repeats on, but this is the very first part of the row. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, shell 1, skip 2 stitches. Now we are going to execute a single crochet in that 3rd stitch because we skipped 2. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 2 stitches, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and you have a shell 1. We're going to chain 1, skip 2 stitches and single crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, shell 1, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 1, shell 1, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and a single crochet. And isn't this lovely? The pattern can be found on Chrissie'sOverTheMountainCrochet.com. Let me get to the end of this and I'll show you what we do at the end of the row, because remember, we have this little sequence at the end. So we've executed the whole row. As you go across, you will see the base row. These stitches are created over top of the single crochet row, row 3. This is row 4 is the shell row, or the base. Shell 1 is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. Okay, we are at the end of the row, and this is the last of the sequences. We will chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and shell 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right, now we need to chain 1, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and single crochet. All right, the shell 1, skip 2 stitches, and single crochet. 1, 2, single crochet. After the single crochet, we chain 1 and double crochet in the top of that next to last double crochet, then chain 1 and double crochet. Skip those chains, and there we have a mirror to the front edge. It matches. It's a mirror. You have a bit of a mesh on each end, and we're ready to go on to the next row, row 5. So it's chain 2 and make that mesh edge. So it's a double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch. All right, chain 1. See, that matches. Chain 1, and we're ready to go on to the next row. So we've made that mesh and we're ready to start the sequence. So it's chain 1, and we will execute a shell 1 in that single crochet. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's a shell 1. Now we need to chain 1 and single crochet in the second double crochet of the previous shell 1, or the peak stitch. I like to call that the peak stitch. Chain 1 and a shell 1 in the single crochet. This is really an easy pattern to follow. Once you get into the rhythm of it, you don't have to worry about memorizing. It's shell 1, single crochet, shell 1. It's a 2-row repeat. So easy to remember, and I think it's a fun stitch, and it looks so nice. There we go, the single crochet. We chained 1, single crocheted in the peak stitch. I have finished row 5 across just about to the end. If you follow the pattern, this sequence is repeated 12 times until you get to this point. Then it's chain 1, single crochet in the top of that double crochet, chain 1, skip 2 stitches, which is the double crochet and the chain 1, and then double crochet right here. And remember, wrap your loop down in that hole. Draw up the loops a little taller than normal. Double crochet, chain 2, and turn. But before I turn, I wanted to show you the stitches. Aren't they pretty? Let me go ahead and get that third row done, and then I'll end the video after the third row. This video is just to help. It's not inclusive of the whole height of the sample. It's just to help you get started. This repeat is very easy. So we've turned. I'll make a double crochet in that first stitch, chain 1, skip the chain, and double crochet in the next double crochet. All right, so we'll chain 1. The next stitch will be a shell 1 in that single crochet. Right, there's the shell 1 of the previous row, but there's a single crochet before that shell 1, and that's where we will put the first shell 1. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now, chain 1 and single crochet in that peak stitch right there, the second double crochet of the previous shell 1. Let's continue. Shell 1. I think I may have missed a chain right there. Yes, I did. I will have to get that fixed. All right, single crochet, chain 1, and a shell 1. Isn't watching someone crochet soothing? I enjoy that so much. I enjoy crocheting because it's so soothing, but watching it can be just as soothing. All right, so now here you have it. You basically repeat rows 5 and 6, back and forth. Whoops, I needed to chain one right there. Rows 5 and 6, back and forth, and then until the pattern tells you you are finished, until you get to row 19, and then wait for the second sample to be released. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed having you on my side of the mountain, and I hope you'll come again soon. I'll put links in the description that will send you to sample 1, and we'll send you to the welcome page. I'll put a link on a yarn review that I have given about this yarn. It's such a nice yarn. I love this yarn. I know people are having trouble finding it now. I think you can find it on Etsy, but I'll see you on sample 2. Bye.